You know, after sitting here for a bit and thinking about what all we've seen in the Arrowverse so far, all the crazy, completely unrealistic tech that smart people can apparently just whip up in like an hour, I just remembered that Barry and the rest of Team Flash have a ton of unused tech just collecting dust in random parts of Star Labs and Star Labs' own property. Captain Cold's gun, Weather Wizard's wand, the Speed Force bazooka, DeVoe's teleporting / brain swapping chair, although that last one might still have DeVoe in it, so it's probably best to just leave that one there. And yeah, some of that stuff has popped up in later episodes, like once, but even then though, I think we can all agree that Team Flash are some wasteful motherfuckers. Case in point, one of the biggest, and arguably most important pieces of tech that we've ever seen on the show, something that could definitely have solved a majority of Barry's Flash-related problems after they got rid of the Reverse Flash in Season 1, spent most of its in-universe time turned off and left sitting in a room in the back of Star Labs.
Good evening, Gideon.
Good evening, Dr. Wells.
Is everything all right?
Everything is fine.
Seriously, why do these guys forget that Gideon exists most of the time? I mean, yeah, now they're using her more often, but Team Flash, a team made up of what are supposed to be generally smart people and doctors, mind you, are all aware that they had unfiltered access to a futuristic advanced supercomputer, and for about 3 entire seasons were apparently just like, she's down the hall from where we all hang out, that's way too far. We can't use Gideon, Barry, but I don't know, maybe just run faster or something, that usually works. Seriously though, I'm glad we're starting to see Gideon get used more in the show, especially because her getting more screen time could mean that we're getting closer to answering a long-standing question about her. When does Barry create Gideon? I mean, we've known since Season 1 that Barry has to put Gideon together sometime during his career as the Flash.
Why? Would you accept my commands?
Because you created me.
And given what all we know about Gideon, it definitely seems like we might be seeing her be created pretty soon, maybe even during or right after the upcoming crisis. But we can talk about that right after I tell you guys about this video sponsor, Amino. Okay, so bad news. I think we're the only 2 versions of us left. Good news, I don't think they know where we are yet, so if we split up, maybe we can... Will you put that thing away? What the hell are you even doing? Dude, it's Amino. You know, that app with a bunch of topics and fun stuff on pretty much any category you can think of. There's tons of cool stuff on here. Me personally, I love looking up everybody's superhero posts. Artwork, theories, lists, you name it, it's here. Are you fucking kidding me right now? We're in the middle of something! Hey, can you say that again? I need that bit for the story I'm about to post. The what? The story. You can make short videos and post them on Amino. They call them stories. They're quick, don't get buried in a ton of content like on other platforms, and give creators more options for the kind of content they can post. You can even add a poll or a quiz to the end of your stories too. Are we about to die? Wonder what kind of responses we'll get. Is this really important right now? Little bit. Kinda want more followers. Hey, speaking of, when you get the chance, do you think you can search up Comic Books vs. the World on Amino and follow me? I already did a few videos about lame Spider-Man villains and ranking some of the Arrowverse speedsters. Seriously, it's a lot of fun. Okay, look, maybe if we can get out of this alive, I'll check it out, okay? But right now, we need to... Amino, your source for the best stories in the multiverse. Anywho, having said all that, I know somebody watching this video is going to be like, but comics, we don't even really know anything about when or why Gideon was made. And even if we did, Team Flash already has a Gideon in Star Labs. What makes you think we'll be seeing Barry build her during the crisis? Well, as far as not really knowing anything about this version of Gideon goes, that's mostly true, but we do know a few things about Gideon that can help us put together a rough timeline for her. For example, thanks to the flashback we got in the Season 1 episode Tricksters, we know that the Reverse Flash has to steal Gideon before he runs back in time to kill Barry's mom. And considering how we still haven't seen Barry creating Gideon yet, then we obviously need to see Barry make her before that event. So assuming that Crisis is the time when Barry and Eobard run back to the year 2000 so they can fight at the Allen House for the 9 millionth time, even after all the changes Barry and Eobard made to the timeline, then we'll have to get a subplot, or at the very least a reference or something, to Barry building Gideon in one of the episodes leading up to the crossover. Now as for why he'd feel the need to build an AI he already has, or even how he'd be able to do it in the first place, I'll admit that one's a little bit of a tougher sell. I mean, we haven't exactly seen Barry doing anything remotely close to super genius levels at any point in the show.
Thank you, Flash!
Don't run. Barry Allen, you're under arrest for the murder of Clifford DeVoe.
which it seems like you'd kind of have to be to make something even remotely close to this. And with the crossover right around the corner, you'd think he'd probably have more important things to worry about, like catching this half of the season's big bad, or, I don't know, the destruction of the multiverse, or something like that. But considering how Team Flash is apparently going to let yet another bad guy wander around Star Labs, maybe they'll need to make a new Gideon after he breaks something or whatever, I don't know. Or maybe I'm totally wrong about the timing and we won't see Barry make a new Gideon till after the crossover. Maybe the one in Star Labs right now is technically part of a loop, kind of like Savitar. Like maybe we'll have this scene during the crisis where Eobard breaks in and steals Gideon as part of his team up with the Anti-Monitor, and then he just ends up keeping her when he runs back in time and kills Barry's mom. Team Flash can't just run back in time and take her back, or else they'll screw up the timeline. Either way though, honestly, this could be more proof that Barry takes a trip to the future sometime this season, most likely after running back in time during the crisis. Now, if you haven't seen my Tornado Twins video, basically I had a small theory that Barry doesn't actually disappear in the crisis, but actually winds up in the far future for some reason or another. Yeah, Nora and her newspaper mentioned that Barry never came back after the crisis, but keep in mind though, that was her version of Barry before she punched the Star Lab satellite and changed the timeline, meaning we could see something totally different play out this time around. Maybe that Barry got stuck in some unexplored corner of the Speed Force, or he got sent somewhere where he got trapped and can't run back home, who knows? More importantly, who cares? That timeline's gone, he's not important anymore.
Seriously?
Seriously though, I'm thinking that current Barry, rather than getting sent to the Speed Force like in the comics, since we've already seen that a few times now, could have been sent to the far, far future, way farther than Team Flash would have been around for or know where to look. And he decides to put something together like a series for speedsters, either to help him get home or just because the Gideon in the present is already gone. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, Gideon's clearly made a futuristic tech that apparently can't be modified or understood or anything like that by present day people, even super techie people like Cisco. Besides, we know Barry can speed read and retain information for a bit, so stick him in a future lab or something, and being able to make an advanced AI isn't exactly out of the question for him anymore. Maybe the writers can kill two birds with one stone and have this trip to the future also be how he was able to meet Abracadabra, like the time period Barry got stuck in was somewhere in the 64th century or something. That'd be a cool setup. Either way, Barry being able to create Gideon this season opens up a ton of new possibilities. Maybe we'll see Barry start using Gideon in the field, kind of like how Eobard used her when he was still looking for the Flash. Or maybe he can use Gideon as like a mobile crime lab so he doesn't always have to run back to Star Labs to analyze something the big bad left behind. Makes sense to me at least, since the new showrunner, Eric Wallace, seems to want to get Team Flash out of Star Labs more often and give them more things to do besides just being tech support. I don't know, I guess we'll see what happens as we get closer to the premiere of Season 6, or even towards the start of the crisis. But anyways guys, that's my take on whether we'll be seeing Barry creating Gideon in the season of The Flash. If you guys agreed with anything I said in this video, or if you have your own thoughts you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.